Monster Mayhem situation gets worse. Now make sure you guys smash the like, crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome. I actually had a video queued up talking about the Starlight problem here, and it's gone now because I am here. I pulled my ass out of bed for this. So, this comes down from Konami Europe this morning. Unfortunately, the release date of Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem is being pushed back for most territories. There was a production problem that resulted in clumping of the Starlight Rares in a portion of the print run. This has resulted in more Starlight Rares for some, but fewer for others. Production will be redone so that the entire release is consistent, but this will take time. The delayed release date will affect Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Oceania, all languages, as well as Spanish and Portuguese cards for Latin America. English language cards for Latin America, Canada, United States are unaffected and will still have their originally announced release date. The revised street date for affected territories will be announced as soon as available. We will do everything we can to expedite this. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. If you lived underneath a rock yesterday, which I hope that you didn't, you got the chance to see, wow, American content creators. Oops, 0 Starlight Rares. And then Europe is like ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. The printing machine was going burr over there. Like it was ridiculous. So how in the world is this affecting things out here? Well, Kongs has pulled all their pre-orders. They have canceled their product for this release because it's just impossible for them to, keep up with demand for this because there's no point. Because we've had a very similar instance of this happen in the past where America got a set and then Europe got the set. Was it? Ooh. Actually, I don't even remember what the instant was. I know that there was either a time where America got a set before Europe or Europe got a set before us. And I know it was during COVID era, and it really messed up the markets. Like, the other side's cards just destroyed the value on the other side. And that's basically what you're going to see happen here. And it's the unintended consequences of Konami not doing QC checks. What a strange and wonderful thing that if you implemented quality control measures, we'd be able to do this. Now, for Konami to pull the entire run, everything for Europe, is crazy. Because there was a lot of speculation going around yesterday that people were like, oh, they'll just send out the product, they'll destroy the value of the cards, and, they'll call it a day. Or, there was also the discussion of, they really ramped up those boxes for the content creators to kind of show off all the product. Nope, it was not that case at all. So, NA wins again is what I've gotten out of this. So, Here's truly going to be your takeaways from this, product kind of going forward out here. Gamer's Choice will have pre-sales up later this afternoon. That would probably be where I would consider looking at product because Europe is not going to have this stuff for a while. So this is going to be a very interesting thing as well because we'll truly be able to see how long it takes Konami to fully revisit an entire set, strip everything down, and redistribute these cards across the system. I'm very curious about that. One of the things that, we're kind of curious about is, how fast this is going to change things over. Because if this comes out, before or after Justice Hunters, well, Justice Hunters is just going to knock this off a pedestal. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because Justice Hunters' existence as a set, checks out. This is kind of like a benchmarker to kind of like clear. And I don't think European territories. This is basically a dead product at this point for Europe. It's dead before arrival, which is crazy because had they shipped this out at this time, and just tried to figure out where the problem was. I don't even really think you can do that. Like, this was such a big screw up across all the languages. Somebody lost their job, for one. And number two, I mean, you can't have NA boxes having the correct ratios and then having European products, just tossing things around and inverting, crazy amounts of things. It's just, it's not possible, man. This is by far, I think, one of the biggest mess ups in Yu-Gi-Oh history. And I think it's going to go down as one to be remembered out here. But, sorry, Europe. The thing that sucks most about this is now, if you were wanting to play, any of these 3 decks, for example, you were wanting to play Necros, you were wanting to play Orcus, you were like, hey, in a week I can finally play these decks that I have been waiting for. You're not going to be able to do so now, because they're just simply not going to be tournament legal. Like, Konami will not allow this set to be legal because of this. And I'm sure the ramifications across the board, you've now created 3 formats, well, I mean, there were more than 3 formats, but, now Europe is its own format, because they're gonna have Duelist Advance. I hope Duelist Advance isn't messed up like this. That's gonna be a big one too. I don't know if they messed up the Starlight ratios this bad on this product run. I am very, very curious to know what's going to happen with Duelist Advance, because if we get those Duelist Advance openings and you end up seeing that the set is this messed up as well there, that could have some major, major unintended consequences too. But how did this even happen, man? Did the numbers get crossed? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking happened here. Like, there had to be some sort of communication error here that allowed this to happen. But I guess market forecast for this, since we just lost half of the world's supply of this set. For any Latin America and Canada, I think we'll be fine over here. Euro English isn't going to exist to the people that, like Euro English. You ain't going to be able to get that for a while. I also don't know what they made the content creators do. I'm also kind of curious about that. Like, if you were a foreign content creator, did you guys get to keep the stuff? Did you guys, have to send it back to Konami? Like, did they take away your... Because I assure you, those content creators keeping those 3 Starlight Rares that you guys pulled is not going to affect the market in the slightest, man. I also am wondering how much of these Starlight Rares, if every box across the board was like this, Konami's going to go through and they're going to destroy some of these Starlight Rares. Because that means that there's an overproduction of these. And, they very clearly in their language are like, yeah, there's a shortage of these across the board. I kind of been wondering if that's not necessarily the case. Every box was like this, and they have to go through and they just have to destroy certain parts of these just to ensure that, bad things aren't going to happen. I also assure you that this is going to cost the company a good chunk of money. If this was their fault, if it was the printing company's fault, then they're the ones that fall. But that's a semantical thing. I'm kind of curious about that too. But God, this sucks, man. This really does. Like, it would have been cool to be able to get some of the Euro English stuff, and be able to get the pre-sales up from Kongs and be able to do it, but you can't really hold pre-sales for a product that the company itself screwed up. Like, it's literally out of your hands. Like, so before I read the infinite comments going, wow, I hate it here. What can you do, man? You can't fix things if the company printing things is the one messing up. That's just how it is. Welcome to the market. Yeah. Anyway, Gamer's Choice should have pre-sales up this afternoon. Discount code MCO40 save you on your purchase over there. I assume that things will be back to normal for Duelist Advance. Pre-sales for that should be in 2 weeks? 20th? We're expecting. Same day I leave to go to Bushiroad, and I'm already financially crying over that because I gotta drive and I'm gonna have to deal with all that. Ugh. Yeah, you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and blah blah blah, yub yub yub, chubba chubba, wubba wubba. I hate this game. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.